Welcome everybody. I'm so excited to be with you here tonight. I am excited to show you all the things that are changing in the Stampin' Up! World, especially our colors. Our color families are getting a revamp is what they call it. So I'm excited to talk to you about that. We have some retirements happening, not only mine in the education world, but in the Stampin' Up! World as well. My life right now is all about retirement, okay? And I want to talk about a couple of things I have coming up on the horizon, and then I want to stamp with you. I want to stamp with you using the mini catalog Marigold Moments. So I hope you'll stick with me, and I hope you enjoy what I have in store for you tonight. Okay, so first of all, if you decide that you want my online class to go tonight, I need you, hold on just a second. I want to make sure that you're seeing me here, so I'm going to refresh my computer, and that way I can talk to you, right? Hi, Sue. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for being here with me tonight. Okay, so there we go. So thanks for joining me. First of all, if you decide that you would like to get my online class to go tonight, and you might, because these cards are pretty fabulous, you're going to go to the TuttlUpShop.com, and you're going to use host code ZDZMH9DA. ZDZMH9DA. If you spend $35 or more with that host code, then you get to, oh, good. You will love this. You will love this bundle. You really will. It's, you know, I will say, Sue, that the Marigold Moments wasn't at the top of my list when I looked through the mini catalog, but I saw so many beautiful cards that it just pulled me in, and I had so much fun making these cards that I'm going to show you tonight. Hi, Kathy. I sent you a text message. I hope you found it. So here we go. I'm going to flip my camera over. You're going to have to go forward without my face showing. Here we go. Let me flip this all down. Okay, so first of all, I want to show off a couple of cards that I got in the mail, or I got as gifts, or got given to me. So this one is from my friend Kay Paulson. She is a remarkable crafter, especially with 3D type, well, three-dimensional type cards, okay, and gifty items. She's just incredible. So this is how this card came in the envelope. See, the back side says Happy Easter with all these fun circles. And then look, it pops open like a box. Look at that. Is that not the coolest thing? And it says just for you. So it's three-dimensional, a three-dimensional card that pops up like a box like that. Is that not the cutest? I just love it. And who doesn't, you know, we all fell in love with this bunny punch and stamp sets, so much that we totally sold out of the punch, but it's coming back because it's in the new catalog. So that's super fun. Isn't that cute? And this is the card that my friend Roz Gold Wolf made using the rhinos, the Rhino Ready stamp set and dies. Isn't that cute? She took that paper that was from, oh, darn it, and I don't have it right here. They released it when they released the Hello Irresistible, and it comes in silver and gold and bronze. But she brushed it with, looks like maybe Calypso Coral and some Parakeet Party. Maybe, I bet that's Tahitian Tide. Is that not so cute? And look at the inside. How adorable is that? I hope Roz, oh, there she is. Roz is here. Thank you, Roz, so much. Every time people send me cards out there, it always touches my heart. It just means a lot to me. So thank you guys for sending those to me. Okay, so real quickly, because I know a lot of you have heard about this already, but for those who haven't, these are the colors that are going away. They're getting rid of them. Okay, if they are getting rid of the color, they're replacing it with a new fun color, okay? And typically when they retire colors, sometimes like some of these ink colors, they might bring them back in a couple of years. But these are the ones that are going away for now. And when I say they're going away, the ink pads, the markers, the blends, the paper is all going to be retired, okay? Now, you can buy that right now. If you want anything on sale, then you will have to start buying those tomorrow that are on the sale list. So if you get my email, I have attached to it the retired items and sale list. So you will be able to download that. Mango Melody's going away, Pear Pizzazz, Makes Me Sad, Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, Rich Razzleberry, Blushing Bride, So Saffron, Mint Macaron, I love Mint Macaron. Sahara Sand, I love it. Soft Suede, I love it. Mary Mallow, I didn't really use very much. And then these are the in colors from 2 years ago that are now retiring. They are keeping Fresh Freesia in the mix. But I'm really sad about Soft Succulent Evening Evergreen going. Is anybody else sad about those leaving? So these are the ones that are retiring, going away, okay? Will not be in the new catalog, and once they're gone, right? Okay, so something to new. Now these are our new color families. Dun, 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 dun. So our new Bright collection, Poppy Parade Melon, Mambo Flirty Flamingo, Pumpkin Pie, they moved from the Regals up to the Brights. Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist was an old in color that they brought back. Granny Apple Green, isn't that just the perfect mix between Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple Green? Coastal Cabana, Azure Afternoon is a brand new color, and Berry Burst is returning as an old ink color that they're bringing back. The neutrals now will be Mossy Meadow. They're bringing back Misty Moonlight. Yay! Night of Navy, Blackberry Bliss is moving into the neutrals. Early Espresso, a new one called Pumpkin Pie. Crumb Cake, I hope they never ever get rid of. And our grays that we've always had. Regals now will be Cherry Cobbler, Real Red, Cajun Craze. I'm kind of surprised Cajun Craze stayed around, but they need it for fall, don't they? Crushed Curry, Old Olive, Garden Green, Shaded Spruce, Pretty Peacock, yay, returned. It's an old ink color. Blueberry Bushel is also an ink color returning, and Gorgeous Grape. Subtles, Petal Pink, Calypso Coral. The new one is Lemon Lolly. Soft Seafoam, I'm kind of surprised it made it, but it did. Lost Lagoon is an ink color returning. Pool Party, Balmy Blue, Highland Heather. Here's that Fresh Freesia. And a new color called Bubble Bath, a new soft pink. People are very excited about that one. And now, you know, our ink colors from last year are coming back, right? But now we get a new set, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moody Mauve, and Pebbled Path. I really like that Pebbled Path. So these are the new colors. I really love it. I do too, Sue. So there you go. Okay, next thing I want to talk to you about is bingo night. And bingo night is something you guys can come to no matter where you live, as long as you don't have another obligation, right, Sue? Sue has been a great bingo night attender, but she has a conflict this time, which is kind of sad. Thursday, April 13th, it's going to open at 6 p.m. Central Time, and we are going to make some cards using the Sweet Citrus Bundle, and this is a hybrid embossing folder that comes with the Sweet. You will need the stamp set if you're going to make the cards that we're going to make on bingo. So this is, see how that die fits in there? So not only will it emboss those lemons, but it'll also cut them out at the same time. It is pretty cool. Okay, 6 p.m. and we will make 4 cards using this bundle, which is super fun. But the most fun thing is that we're going to play 6 games of bingo, and I will be giving away gift cards to my Tuttle Up shop. So, I mean, the smallest will be $25. The largest will likely be $75, okay? So it is a fun night. I've already got my little gift bags. These have little candies and fun things in it. Some of the product you'll be getting, it's not exclusive to this, is this white organdy glittered ribbon, these iridescent pastel gems. Don't those just look citrusy? Isn't that fun? And some dimensionals and some other goodies inside that little bag. So it is definitely worth checking out my bingo night. I'm going to have to close this down tomorrow because it has become very popular. And if you live here in the Lincoln area and you want to come in person, I decided my house is going to just start emptying of furniture, and I think I'm going to have room for whoever wants to come. But it's also so cool that you can join me on Zoom, okay? So if you join me on Zoom, we all play bingo together. We put our cards together. You can stay to do your cards with me if you want, or you can you'll have a PDF. You can do them at home on your own time. So whatever you want to do. So think about coming to bingo night. The link will be on my page and in my email tomorrow. So remember, the best way to find out about everything going on is to be on my email list. So if you'd like to be on my email list, just private message me and I will get you added to my email list. Okay, now, you guys, I'm going to have a ton to get rid of at this BOGO sale this time because, as you know, I'm moving and I would like to have to move as little as possible, right? So we're having a BOGO sale here in Lincoln. I will probably follow it up with an online BOGO sale, but I'm going to wait and see how much sells here at my in-person BOGO sale. BOGO means for every dollar you spend on our retired products, you get an equal amount out of the new catalog. It is the deal of the century. We have it once, sometimes twice a year. This one will be Friday, May the 5th at the Southwood Neighborhood Clubhouse, which is at 5000 Tipperary Trail in Lincoln, and it'll be from 6 to 8:30. There will not be any early sales. People line up at 6 and we let them in and they shop away. They gather all the retired stuff they want. We give them a total. We send them in to buy stuff out of the catalog and they make one purchase for that price. So it is such a cool event. We love it. We love connecting with all our customers, and I'm just going to see how it goes. You know, I'm moving. My husband will be gone by April the 30th, and I am following him there at the end of the school year. And I'm keeping totes of retired stuff with me here until he comes and gets me, and we go to Norway for our cruise, Stampin' Up cruise. And when we come back, we're going to load up the car and head to Texas. So this BOGO sale is my chance to get rid of as much as I possibly can. All right, Lincoln, Nebraska peeps, 5000 Tipperary Trail, 6 to 8:30, Friday, May the 5th. Put that in your calendar. All right, so here we go. Tomorrow is the day that the sale goes live for the things that are on sale that are retiring. I'm sad to say that the Stamparatus has sold out. They announced last week that they are going to stop production on the Stamparatus. They ran into some legal problems. They've been defending it for 4 years and just decided they just can't keep pouring money into defending their product. So they've decided to let it go, and I heard today that it is gone. So, but there's a ton more. If you haven't gotten the circle dies, they are being retired. If you haven't gotten the stitched rectangle dies, they are being retired. So much. So log on tomorrow on my Tuttle Up shop and start shopping away. Not only do you get tonight's kit to go, but you will also get a lot of stuff that is retiring that when it's gone, it's gone. It's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. Okay, one more thing I forgot to announce. I don't know if Laura Kemp is here tonight, but she's the winner of my cards, my Rhino cards, from a couple of weeks ago. I always pull out a name of people who are commenting and sharing, and Laura's name got pulled out by this time. Laura, I think I have your address, but it wouldn't hurt to PM me with that in the messages. She usually jumps on and watches, so if you guys see her jump on, let her know she won the cards, okay? I might not see it happen. All right, let's get to stamping. Here we go. All right, so we are going to make 3 cards using the Marigold Moments stamp set and dies. Here are the dies. So each of these dies coordinate with one of the stamps that are on here. Super fun, okay? And you also get backgrounds and detailed toppers. You guys, you're gonna love what these look like when we're all done, okay? So let's start with, I think we're gonna start with, which card? I think I'll start with this card, okay? So our first card for tonight is this card right here. Isn't that so pretty? You have a heart of gold is what that says. And I used the soft succulent from the 6x6 color pack. I used a crumb cake circle and just some white paper, and then all of my cards tonight are going to use the pastel adhesive sequins on them tonight. So I hope you enjoy that. Okay, so let's get started with this first one. Okay, so we have a piece of thick white cardstock, thick basic white, cut standard 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. Okay, and then I have 3 strips, and they are all cut 1 1/4 inches, and these are from the succulent 6x6 color pack. The succulent, I said succulent, the subtle 6x6 paper pack. So I'm going to adhere these onto the front of my card, and I'm going to use liquid glue. So that way I have a little bit of wiggle room so I get it straight. And I like to do the outside 2 first. So I'll adhere that there. And then I just sandwich the one in the middle. If you start in the middle and you don't get it perfectly centered, then the other 2 won't fit, and trust me, that is annoying. Okay, so that panel's gonna go right there, and the next one is gonna go right here in the middle. So this, they will come out with another Settles paper pack, but they always change up the patterns a little bit. So we will get new patterns in the new 6x6 paper packs, and that's always fun to see what patterns they come out with. Okay, I'm gonna grab my bone folder here and just bone that down a little bit more so it stays down. There we go. Okay, then I have a crumb cake circle that is from the Stitched Dies, and the size of this one is, I think it's the second largest one. It is the 3-inch wide stitched circle. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back here. So I tell you, we've had a lot of good buy events recently. Makes me really sad. I love my Lincoln people and my Lincoln friends. Yesterday was Jim's last day at our church. We've been here in Lincoln pastoring a church for 33 years. So that is a very long time. He got a job at a church down in Midland where our daughter and son-in-law live and our grandkids. And so we are excited about the new adventure, but lots of sad goodbyes here recently. The stitched, yes, these are called the stylish shapes, and they are carrying over, Kathy. Good question. It's the It is the circles that are the straight edge circles, and the scallop circles are the ones that are retiring. Okay, so you know, I didn't know the Stamparatus was going to be sold out by tonight, so I decided I was going to use it and just show you all the fabulous things it does. But that's okay. Now you can be envious if you don't own one. Okay? All right. So I'm going to start with a So Saffron ink pad and a Soft Succulent ink pad. These are the two colors. And this So Saffron, I'm going to move this over just a little bit more here, is going to go on, can you guys see this? This is one of the cool things about a Stamparatus, is we have dual plates here, which was our point of contention through the last couple of years with these legal processes, and that ours is different and better, to be honest. Okay, so I'm stamping the solid flower image in So Saffron. I'm pressing this down. Now, the cool thing, you see how that didn't exactly, and I think there's a little bubble under here. Let me get that out of there. Yep, I see a little air bubble underneath it. Okay, there we go. Maybe that'll do. The cool thing about the Stamparatus, right, is that you don't have to worry about when things like that happen. You just ink it up again, press it down really good. I want to get that spot right there. There's a bubble in my, see, did that? Let's try that one more time. I'm going to lift this whole thing up, and I'm going to try to start it all over again. So I'm going to line this up right where that design is perfectly there. I'm going to press this. There we go. Much better, right? There we go. Okay. Then there's this little leaf right here, and I should have done that all at once. So here we go. So the stitch circles are called stylish shapes, Kathy. All right, I should have done this all at the same time, but I'll do it now. There we go. Ah, lovely. Okay, now this is where the cool part comes in. The more detail of this flower, right here, I'm going to pull this down, is up here, okay? Can you guys see that? I'm going to ink that up in Daffodil Delight. And then I'm inking my words right here in Soft Succulent. Okay, I'm going to press this down. Press my words, press my detail on all those flowers, and voila, what happened? Voila. I don't like that. We're going to start over. Can I start over? Let's start over. I don't know what happened. We're going to try it all over again, okay? So I'm going to put this back on here. We're going to start with So Saffron. I think it's because I had to ink up that So Saffron so many times that it got too dark. There's one spot right there I'm really struggling with. Okay, I'm going to try that one more time. Well, I am not doing a good job of showing you all the great things it's done. This has literally never happened to me before. There's a bubble right there that is keeping that from wanting. There we go. I'm just going to leave it. Let's just leave it right there. Okay. The green leaves down here at the bottom. Going to go right there. Okay. Then This is my Daffodil Delight. And my So Saffron for my words. I think this is going to look a lot better this time. It's going to be very subtle, but you're going to be able to see the detail in those flowers. I'm going to try that one more time. Right in that spot right there. Okay. Look how beautiful mine came out. Okay, there's something weird about this spot right here. On both stamps, that's interesting. Okay, I had zero trouble with this last night, as you can tell from my awesome card. So there we go. We're going to call that good. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to grab my dies. And the dies that I'm going to use are this one that cuts out the solid image, and then this one that's going to cut out the leaves, and a stitched circle right here that is going to cut out my words. So that is all of them. And I can actually cut all of those out at once. So let me grab my Post-it note tape here. Okay, let's hope the rest of my cards I don't struggle this much with. It's me. There we go. I'm gonna grab my die cutting machine. Lay this on right here. Sure that's all lined up really well. Roll that through. So here's my circle. Here's my leaves. And here are my flowers. Okay. So let's go back to our card here. I'm going to attach my leaves to the bottom of my flowers right here, and I'm actually going to use a tiny piece of tearing tape to hold that stem to the bottom of my flower. I know, right, Sue? Like, what would we do without Post-it note tape? And if you guys don't have it, you can find it on Amazon. Honestly, I have looked other places, and people say you can get it at like Office Depot or Office Max. I just have not found it here in Lincoln. I've looked at Target. So, you know, I'm lazy, and when it takes me more than 2 looks to find something, I'm like, give up, let's go to Amazon. That's why Amazon is so rich, right? The owner, because, you know, we're going to look maybe once or twice, and then we're going to give up and go to Amazon. So, is anybody out there with me? Okay, so this is going to go right here on my circle, right like that. this little circle here that says you have a heart of gold is gonna like cozy up to it right there, but I'm gonna put some dimensionals down here at the bottom of my circle, like that. And then, oops, that's at the top. Let me move that to the bottom. There we go. And it's going to cozy up right up there next to that little circle. It is very pretty. Sorry, I kind of fumbled around with getting that to work, but I think if you were the recipient of this card, you would know that it really is a beautiful card and not that hard, right? So these dies really do make an impact on cutting these out, these little pieces out. So here we go. I'm going to put this one right there, and that is card number 1. Okay, that's my first card. I hope you love it with the soft succulent and the daffodil delight. Okay, all right, my next card is going to use the same stamps, but a little bit differently. So isn't this pretty? Now, if you're like me, your mother may not be with you anymore in person. I'm going to clean these off while we're talking, but surely you have some mother in your life that you can celebrate. So Mother's Day can be about your own mother, or it can be about a mother that you just really admire, right? So I don't know about you, but I have some friends that are fabulous mothers, and they have taught me a lot about being a mother. So even though my earthly mom isn't here, I still want to celebrate the moms in my life that have impacted me, right? So I needed those 2 big ones again. I don't think I need anything else from this. Okay. All right. So this card I actually cased from a card that I saw in the catalog, believe it or not. So what I've done is I have, oh, I didn't even show you the inside. Here's the inside of the card. Isn't that so pretty? So I used the scallop die from the Contour Scallops. Scallop Contour dies is what they're called. And I love these dies, and they are carrying over to the new catalog. So I use this little scalloped edge that's a stitch scallop. I use it all the time. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and do the inside first. This is the inside. I have cut this piece of paper 4 7/8 by 5 1/4. And then I scalloped edged the bottom. And you can kind of arrange those scallops on the bottom edge of that card so that you get 4 even scallops on the bottom edge, okay? Now, before I adhere this down, I want to stamp a set of flowers right there in the bottom, and I'm using pale papaya on this. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper here to put underneath this scratch piece that I just have right here in my trash so it doesn't get on my stamping pad. And I'm using the more detailed of the flowers, and I'm using pale papaya ink. I'm going to use this ink on this stamp set. Is that pale papaya? Nope, it's Flirty Flamingo. That's coming later. Here's pale papaya. Okay, so let me get my chamois back out here. Wipe that off. Gosh, this is not my most stellar Facebook Live, is it? I'm glad you guys love me. So just keep in mind, I am physically and emotionally exhausted from my life right now. So, but I'm still stamping. I'm stamping away. Okay, so here's my pale papaya, and I'm just putting a little bit right in that corner right there. So pretty, right? And then I'm going to adhere this. I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to use that here in just a second. I'm going to adhere that to the inside of my card right here. Isn't that so pretty? Something different, right, than typical what we put on the inside. A typical white panel with maybe a strip of paper or something. I kind of like that scalloped edge. So Sue, we close on our house here on April the 26th. Jim jumps in the moving van. He goes to Texas. I fly out the next day and meet him in Texas that next night. Then we close on our house there the next day. Okay, so I'm taking this detailed image of the marigolds and I am just stamping some detail just along the edges here. I didn't like that, and I'm just kind of turning it as I go. There's no science to this, really. No rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of covering the blank space. So I'm meeting there on the 27th. The next morning we close on our house in Texas. And then we spend 2 days moving in. His first day at the church there is April 30th. I fly back that night. There we go. So I'm just adding some detail around the edges just so it's got a little contrast, okay? And then I will fly back and I'm living with my friend Becky until May the 17th. And that is when Jim will come back up here and we will fly to England to get on the ship for Norway. When we get back from Norway, we will go to Texas for sure. So, okay, so now I'm just stamping this right here in the middle of that scalloped panel. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And that's just, again, to give a little background detail. Okay, and I used my marigold dies. So there's a solid single marigold and there's a detailed marigold. That is what I'm using. So I'm using the solid piece in pale papaya and the darker piece is pumpkin pie. Now, as soon as I cut these out, I thought, boy, it would have been nice if I had used those adhesive sheets. Why do I always think about that kind of after the fact? It really does make it easier than having to like fit glue in these little pieces here. There we go. All right. So I am just gonna shimmy this on to my solid piece like that. And then I'm gonna put a block on top and just let it all adhere together while I'm working on the rest of my card here. Okay, I cut using those rectangle dies. These are the dies, you guys, that I was telling you. These are retiring, and I use these all the time. So I use this one right here to cut this label out, okay? And I cut it out of crumb cake. And I'm gonna stamp on it in pumpkin pie. Let's see if I can find that. Here it is, the Happy Mother's Day sentiment. So it's going to be a little crazy. I know. Thank you, Sue. So you might go for 3 or 4 weeks without hearing from me. Please know that that does not mean I have forgotten about you. Isn't that font beautiful? I love the fonts in the stamp set. So that says Happy Mother's Day. Another cool thing, another cool die in this stamp set, I'm going to put this away before the pale papaya, before I get that on my hands, is there's this little scalloped trim. It almost looks like eyelet, okay? Now, when you cut that out, this is what you get. Isn't that so, so pretty? And then I used this leaf die right here to cut a leaf out of pale not pale, Pear Pizzazz. That's one of those colors going away. I'm going to use it while I can, right? So now all I have to do is start layering this on my card, okay? So I'm going to put my leaves right here that I cut out of Pear Pizzazz, and I'm just going to adhere them kind of right down here in this corner. I'm just going to put a little glue on each of those leaves. It has a really nice embossed detail to it too. A little too much there. There we go. Do you guys end up with sticky fingers like I do? Okay, so that's going to go right there. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to kind of decide how long I'm going to want it. Why don't I go ahead and put my dimensionals on the back of this piece and adhere it to my card, and that's going to give me a better idea of knowing where to put that that little eyelet piece there. So sometimes you think you don't love a stamp set or bundle, and then you see what other people have been doing with it, and then you're like, that is so pretty. Like this little eyelet piece, I don't know if I would have noticed it. Honestly, I am not a great detail person, but then somebody showed us really how pretty it is, and then I'm like, that is a fabulous set. So I had to show it to my favorite customers out there in Facebook world. Yes, thank you. Okay, so here we go. Remove all those dimensionals. I'm going to add this right here on the front of my card. Flush with the top edge. There we go. Okay, so I want this piece to kind of be even with this edge, but only go part way across the front here. Okay, so it's going to go kind of like that. And I'm going to cut off that end right there, and I'm just going to add some glue to this top edge right here. It's going to overlap those leaves like that. And then I'm going to cut it off about right here. Okay. There we go. Next, my sentiment that is on that rectangle panel is just going to lie barely on top of the edge of that eyelet. So look at those little hearts that are peeking out there. It's just so pretty. So I'm going to add some dimensionals. Do you guys use the edges here of your dimensionals? I use every single bit. I use so many dimensionals, I don't want to waste anything. Yep, I can move that up. Move the card up and mat it up. There you go. Is that a little better for you? Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, so this is going to go right here. Happy Mother's Day. And remember that flower that I die cut right here? That is just going to tuck under, so it kind of looks like, it gives the illusion that the top of this marigold is coming from this stem right here, and that's actually going to go flat on the card right there. Yep. Anytime, Kathy. Never worry about telling me that, because I get busy stamping and I forget sometimes that you guys may or may not be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so there we go. How pretty is that? I love this card. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to those pastel dots. I'm going to pull the gold ones again. And I am going to put a couple up here, a large and the small right there, and then maybe another little small one right down here, right there. So, do you know any mother that wouldn't love to get this Mother's Day card? It's so pretty. And then they open it up and there's the inside with the sentiment on the inside. So Like I said, I cased this from one in the catalog. See if you can find it. But I decided to do the scallop on the inside. That was my own idea. So I do have original ideas every once in a while. All right, one more card, and I think you guys are going to absolutely love this one. So if you'll bear with me for just a little bit longer, I would love to show you my last card. Let me clean all these up here. Okay. My last and third card is kind of a fun fold card. We all love fun folds, don't we? And I love the scalloped edge too, Kathy. Okay, so here is coming our last card right here. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that a beautiful thank you card? Okay, so this one uses that Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. It uses the 3-pack embossing folders. That's one of the online exclusive. I'm using the polka dot one. This one reminds me of bubble wrap almost. Isn't that pretty? And then it opens like this. Isn't that so pretty? And then look, people can put it on. I always love cards. You guys know I love cards that people can display on their desk. And so let's make this card. And do you like this combination for my marigold? It is Daffodil Delight with Flirty Flamingo on top. I just pulled the colors out of the designer series paper. I read the package and it said Daffodil Delight and Flirty Flamingo, and I decided that's what I was going with. All right, so here we go. Let's see if we can get this done. All right, let me move all these things over here that I don't need right this second. Okay, so what do I have? I have a piece of white, basic white paper that was cut 2.5 by 4 1/4. 2.5 by 4 1/4. And then I ran it through with the bubble wrap. It's not what it's called. This is in the online exclusive. It is a set of 3 embossing folders in a package, and this is one of them. They are $30, but they are all fabulous, so you will want to get them. So I used that on the card. I ran that through. I have a piece of Flirty Flamingo. I actually have 2 of them. 2 pieces of Flirty Flamingo that are each 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, and then this piece is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, then I have my Daffodil Delight paper. I started by cutting it like usual, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. And then I scored it again at 2 1/8. So I scored that front panel in half, and now I'm going to fold that front panel back on itself, and I'm going to use my bone folder to get a good crisp edge on that right there. Okay? Here, I'm going to put this aside for just a second. Okay, so I'm going to adhere my DSP to my Flirty Flamingo. The other side of that is really pretty too, isn't it? Either one would have been beautiful for this card. And so this is going to go on here, right like that. And then I'm going to take this polka dot piece that I've run through the embossing folder, and well, let's put this on our card. So I want this to go on my card, and I want just a very hint of that yellow to poke out of the edges, right like that. Okay, it's just a very slight edge because I didn't want the yellow to kind of overwhelm what we were doing. Okay, so I'm only putting adhesive right here on this panel that has been folded back. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get this right where I want it here on my card. There we go. And that's going to create that fold that opens like this, okay? Now I'm going to take this polka dot bubble wrap, the bubble wrap embossed piece, and I'm going to use liquid glue because I don't like to press my steel into my embossed image, okay? I feel like it flattens it. So let's put that liquid glue on there, and this is going to kind of go from edge to edge. Let me move that up just a little bit there. All right, so there is my embossed piece on there. Now for the inside of my card, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm taking the same size Flirty Flamingo, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I'm adding a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white. But before I add that on there, I want to stamp my little marigolds and my leaves, okay? So my marigold, I'm going to start with my leaf, and I decided to do my leaves in Old Olive. Let me grab a piece of scrap paper here. Okay, so I'm taking Old Olive ink. Move this so I can move this up a little bit so Kathy can see me, and everybody else as well. She's just brave enough to speak up. Okay, so I'm going to put my leaf right there in that corner, and then I'm going to grab my solid image that's going to be in Daffodil Delight. Okay, right here, and it just fits right into that little leaf image right there. And then my detail is going to be in Flirty Flamingo. And it just goes right on top. I really would probably do better if I stood up here, but we're gonna try to make it work without impinging. There, beautiful, right? Isn't that so cool? I love the look of that. Okay, so now this piece is gonna go on. I'm gonna move these out of the way. I'm gonna use them again in here in just a second. It's gonna go on this piece of Flirty Flamingo, right like that. And then I want to line this up so that it is behind this panel so that it doesn't show from the outside of the card. I want those edges to be perfectly lined up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this panel up right with the corners of this panel right here. I'm going to kind of do it backwards. If you just try to lay it there, you might not get it lined up the way you want. So I'm going to add adhesive to the back side like this. So I'm lining those corners up, and then I'm just going to press this down onto the card, and that gets everything lined up perfectly. Isn't that fun? Okay, so I'm almost done. All I have to do is the front of this card and my little flowers. And so what I did is that I took a skinny piece of white here, and I stamped it 3 times with my daffodil. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp it 3 times on top to give the detail with my Flirty Flamingo. And you can tell these little pokey things here where it fits into the leaf. If you line those up, you will get the detail on that flower pretty good. Okay, isn't that pretty? Do you like this color combination? I think it's kind of fun and bright and pretty. Okay, so then I used this die right here and ran it through my Big Shot 3 times, okay? And so I got 3 separate flowers, and I kind of cheated. and went ahead and cut those out just to save us some time. Okay, now we're going to do some leaves. So I have another piece of white here, and I stamped the same, let me double check that to be sure. Yep, I stamped the same stem that I stamped on the inside of my card, but I stamped 2 leaves. There we go. Now, another cool thing that Stampin' Up! Does sometimes, it would have been nice actually if we had more of this die, and so I wouldn't have to run it through 3 times. But they did do something smart and give us 3 of these little leaves right here. So we don't have to run those through a bunch of times. We can just do it all at once. And then I have this piece right here for the other leaf. I'm going to put all my ink pads away because I only need one more and I have it out. Okay, so I'm going to line that leaf up with that one. I'm going to line this leaf up with this one. Voop, voop. I'm going to line this one up with that one right there. So that's all we need. I'm going to grab my Post-it note here. And I wonder if I can, I always try to do too much. I'm just going to do them separately. Here we go. I hope you love these cards. I do love them. I do. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Big Shot again, and I'm going to run it through just for these leaves. Here we go. Running it through. Thank you, Chelsea. You're always so sweet. Thank you. Okay. There's one of my little leaves. And here's the stem. And here's my other little leaf. So I was able to run all of that through at once. So I'm going to go back over here to my card. And I'm going to start by putting this, the more solid leaf on first. Okay, it's going to go right here. And then I just kind of started layering my flowers on with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab some of the larger dimensionals right here. And I just put one on the back of each one. Hi, Rebecca Phelps. How are you? Hope you had a great day today. So this one's going to kind of go up like this, and you're like, wait a minute, it's not attached. It's okay, trust me. And then this one, it's current in the mini. Yes, Becky. And it's retiring. So it'll be part of the retiring list that just went out. And you know, now that it's retiring, they won't replenish it if it goes, you know, sells out. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to take these little leaves, just put a little piece of dotted glue on the back of each flower. It's not online exclusives. It's in the mini, and it's called Marigold Moments. But this paper and the embossing folder is part of the online exclusives. It's called the Hello Irresistible paper, and it's part of the embossing folder is part of a 3-pack embossing folder that is an online exclusive. So the stamp set and dies for the Marigold are in the mini. The paper in the embossing folder is an online exclusive. All right. All right. So almost done here, peeps. I took a piece of white cardstock, basic white, and I stamped Thanks in Old Olive ink. And this is cut 1/2 of an inch by, let's see, how long did it end up being? About 1 3/4. 1/2 by 1 3/4. So I cut a piece of Flirty Flamingo. And this is 3/4 inch wide. I'm going to attach this and then I'm going to chop it off for the length that I want, okay? Excuse me. So I'm going to add some seal to the back. I'm just going to center this on this piece of Flirty Flamingo. So this is 1/2 of an inch wide by 1 3/4. And then this is 3/4 of an inch wide. And I probably could have just cut it 2 inches. I always like to cut it a little bit longer so that I know I'm gonna fit that in the way I want to, okay? So I'm gonna add some dimensionals. I love this font, yes, Sue. I love all the fonts that are in this stamp set. It really is just so, so pretty. This is going to just pop up right here. And now all I have to do is grab those pastel gems, here, pastel sequins. But this time, instead of using the gold ones, I'm gonna pull up these pink ones. So I'm gonna put a large one right here, kind of up in this corner. I'm gonna put another larger one right here, and then a small one. Boop. There we go. It's gonna go right there. So that's it. So let's pull out all 3 of the cards. And this one, remember, is fun because it's kind of a fun fold. It opens like this. And again, like I said, the nice thing is that people can set it on their desk and show it off. And I love when people show my cards off. So this is the online card class to go. You will get a kit to make 6 of these cards, 2 each of the 3 designs. There we go. And I hope you really love those. I think they're super fun. I fell in love with this set and after playing with it, and I hope that you will too. So let me pull the camera back up. I'm upside down. We'll change that. There we go. So thanks everyone for joining me tonight. Gosh, tonight was kind of a little bit of a mess, but thanks for sticking with me. And I will be back here next Monday night. It'll be the Monday after Easter, and I'm excited to show you a new online class to go. And then after that, it'll have to be announced because I don't know what my life's going to look like. So thanks so much. I'm always humbled that you come with me every Monday night, and God bless, and we'll see you next Monday night. Bye-bye.